So, journey begins at the broken chair. It is a reminder of what we have to do. Largely unbeknownst, there is something else as well that we just have to make a start on. Discussing how professors and school teachers can never multiply the earth by an apple and expect to give their students a responsible or rational answer to such an unconsidered product of a piece of fruit and a planet. That is what we have to be doing as well. Now. As we zigzag around the world, a picture of how and why the world is using a false physics concept to educationally handicap itself will be emerging. Teaching adolescents the full structure of what is known as Newton's law of gravity as the truth of the universe has become an impediment to the well-being of, well, everybody. Elements of the law, of course, are a testament to the fine acumen of mankind. But the multiplication of two masses? That is the human race acting against its own best interest. As we embark, here is something quite pertinent, perhaps a touch complex as it is first uttered. But when the numbers appear, it may be the very thing that unscrambles the Newtonian universal egg and puts it back in its unneeded shell. So here it goes. If there is a direct relationship between mass and gravity strength, and if we partition a particular mass in various ways, and then apply Newton's mass multiplication to the variety of divisions we make, we find an unresolvable conflict between mass multiplication and a direct relationship between mass and gravity strength. Well, now that those words has been blurted out, how does a quick transportation to Costa Rica sound for our Newton law of gravity anomaly demonstration? Stunningly, and perhaps cunningly, Costa Rica has no army. So it is the perfect place to begin a serious journey of loving the world through, believe it or not, the tides, and even why Venus is turning backwards as the world is moving forward around the Milky Way galaxy in the Sun's gravity field. Let's see where this trajectory leads the acumen of mankind.
So multiplying the earth by an apple is a mistake. Oh dear. Let's stop teaching mistakes.
So here we have 10 kilograms of mass, and maybe it is sitting on a volcano at the moment. And incidentally, we also have no landmines left, as far as is known. Not here in Costa Rica. At this stage, our video is for those living and dying in belief of Sir Isaac's mass multiplication theory of the universe. You can now see his formula, and directly we will apply it to our 10 kilograms of mass in isolation. Sometimes the formula is tidied up to be like this next illustration here is showing. Then, a mutual force becomes two separate, equal and opposite forces. Regardless, the fundamental issue is multiplying two scalar masses to produce a vector force, particularly as the distance in the formula is also not a vector. Fairly and squarely, the ill-considered production of a vector out of nowhere is where the world of Newton has a problem of world schoolbook significance lying at its notorious feet, if it ever cares to look down at them and it. Anyway, if you have avoided this formula until now, the luck is yours forever. But as our travels reach the tides, which are not far ahead, you can expect your pleasure to mount if you return to this video then. According to standard and accepted measures, when considered in isolation, our 10 kilograms has a gravity strength directly relating to its mass measure of 10. Yet, when the 10 kilograms is considered in isolation, this consideration destroys the mass multiplication part of Newton's formula. When isolated, the 10 kilograms gets multiplied by the zero mass magnitude of another, or non-existent mass. This then gets divided by either an absence of distance squared or an infinite distance squared. Which of those depends on where the non-existent mass is considered to not be. This leaves the isolated 10 kilograms with a mathematically indeterminate Newtonian gravity field strength, not one relating to its 10 kilogram of mass at all. That might be a little too cute for our natural world to be gathering its post-universal gravitation wits afresh from, but applying Newton's full formula to an isolated mass is mathematically traumatic, to say the very least. Let's see what is being said about this over in Singapore. Mathematics on that island state is known for being done good, better, and always best.
Welcome to the Garden City. Like these gardens, Singapore is built on a foundation of order and calculated design. When we look at Newton's formula, we see disorderly and, frankly, incomprehensible mass multiplied by mass logic. Most of the world has simply ignored this troublesome adjunct. But in a place where every millimetre is measured, we cannot simply sweep such a bewildering multiplication under the rug of more sensible mathematical conduct. So let's look at the numbers. Just arrived at port is a 10 kilogram mass alloy ball from Central America. We move past that quirky and unresolved dilemma relating to Newton and the absence of one mass from his formula. We start by melting this 10 kilograms down. It is recast as a 9 kilogram ingot and a 1 kilogram ingot as depicted here. Still 10 kilograms of mass in total. We place these masses 1 metre apart and now apply Newton's mutual gravity formula. When we do this, his formula is saying to us, the mutual attraction factor of this arrangement is g times 9 times 1 and divided by 1 squared. If Sir Isaac's law of gravity is correct, that is the result. At a given distance of internal separation, 10 kilograms of mass has a mutual attraction factor of 9g within itself. Next, we recast this 10 kilograms, this time as a 6 kilogram ingot and a 4 kilogram ingot. Again, a total of 10 kilograms, and again we place these masses 1 metre apart. So the distance, as well as the g of the formula, is a constant. Newton's mutual formula is applied to this new arrangement. G multiplied by 6, then multiplied by 4, and divided by 1 squared has the numbers inserted. As you can see, the mutual attraction factor contained within the 10 kilograms has now risen to 24g. That is over double the mutual attraction of the 9-1 split that the 10 kilograms of mass was able to produce. Obviously, if there is a direct relationship between quantity and the gravity strength of a particular quantity, 9 would have to equal 24. There is a mistake somewhere. Our Swiss friend described this Newtonian conflict of numbers and physics as unresolvable. At this stage, it may be more diplomatic and constructive to say to our professors that multiplying masses together to understand the universe doesn't match the standard of your own intelligence, and you have a job of high school correction on your capable hands. Excuse me.
We have just had a successful moonshot. The astronauts are now back home. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
We will now be crossing to Cape Canaveral in the United States of America for the moonshot analysis of these numbers. And yes, thank you for your attention to this matter of a schoolbook error in teaching an understanding of the universe by multiplying the Earth by an apple, as it were.
In light of what is being said in beautiful Singapore, it is our duty here at NASA to explain that a moonshot disavows mutual gravitation. Here is what can be regarded as Newton's true law of gravity. Only one mass involved. Whether or not this was Newton's original work can be debated. It is all we ever use in our celestial determinations. Some exceptions may be discussed. As you know, the recent moonshot did not involve a moon landing. Courtesy of the capsule and its onboard astronauts, Earth mass left the Earth's gravity field and entered the Moon's gravity field. According to Newton's formula, this transfer of mass from a larger body like the Earth to a smaller one like the Moon mathematically increased the mutual attraction between those two bodies while the capsule was in the Moon's gravity field. Suffice to say, many space ventures have succeeded in the last 75 years. None have depended on the science of a moonshot increasing the mutual attraction between the Earth and the Moon. Morally and pointedly, if Newton's mass multiplication gravity formula is to be taught as the truth of the universe, school teachers and professors need to be able to explain how a successful moonshot increases the power of attraction between the Earth and the Moon, while the shot is in the Moon's gravity field. Most everybody should be able to see that this part of Newton's gravity work simply is not able to make classroom sense. Now, has that old Australian man made his hesitant phone call to a university? It would be about time he did. Or has he gone on another trip of his football anticipation? His team is as useless as Newton's full law of gravity, probably forever. Let's see. If his phone call happens, world title education may be able to take a turn for the very much better.
Josephine at reception at the School of Physics, the University of Melbourne. I'm not able to receive your call at the moment. If you could please leave your name, number and message, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks, bye.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press # for more options.
Hello, Josephine. My name's George Kingston. My phone number is 0413167909. I'm just ringing to try and find out the procedure for explaining to a physicist that Sir Isaac Newton has made a mistake within his law of gravity. There's aspects of his law of gravity that are right, but it's the multiplication of masses that's wrong, and it's being taught at secondary school, and I went through secondary school myself, and I saw there's a few problems with it, and that's a lot of years ago now, and I'd just like, with the state of the world, I'd like the opportunity to explain to a physicist the mistakes, and I've emailed the Melbourne Physics Department last year, and I did not get any response, so I just thought I'd better ring. Thank you.
He's going to fall the way of the Bombers. Parrish gets a kick forward. They go coast to coast here, Essendon. Caddy will run onto it, close to the boundary line. Centres the kick. It'll bounce in front of Kako. Just has to gather and run into an open goal. The Bombers, they hit back again, 2 in a row.
Can please be excusing my English. So the fence blocking understanding tides is Newton mutual gravity theory. So professor encouraged publication against the Sir Isaac gravity. Professor important person. Publish must be try. So you see ball being squeezed. That is what professor would want publish after all Australian man meeting. Put to Professor that tides of round planet understood by ball squeezing principle. True Newton third law. Not his mutual gravity theory at all. Professor told tides are equal and opposite force reaction across center of round planet. This understanding fit with high and low tides we observe here on round planet. But definitely not fit with Sir Isaac multiply the mass theory of whole universe. Also we help people of North Korea that is good and Pacific Island to Haiti we go to you to begin the moon North Pole and ocean for high tide under moon. Correcting the subtle enormous school teacher mistake about first high tide must begin naturally somewhere.
Sorry, boys and girls. Your teacher is wrong. The good news, what was just murmured on the Asian continent, the moon does not pull this ocean at all. The moon only causes this ocean to be weighted less towards the center of our Earth, without being a weight towards that moon at all. What our wonderful tidal scientists need to mathematically do is apply rigorous subtraction along the Earth-Moon axis. When we do this, we clearly see that the tidal role of the Moon and Earth gravity fields is a mutual subtraction. This results in a mutual termination of both gravity fields. The point of termination is not at a fixed distance from either body. It is where a capsule will leave our Earth gravity field and enter the Moon gravity field. On our side of the termination is the lesser ocean weight resting on an ocean floor under the Moon that we call a high tide. What's more, the ball squeezing demonstration that we have just seen does say the lesser weight is traceable right down to and across the center of a round planet like ours is. It must be stated that we are ignoring the Sun's gravity for this simple gravity termination demonstration about why we observe a high tide under the Moon, which, incidentally, we do not observe here on Tahiti. That is a story of ocean currents, not a story directly of the Earth-Moon relationship. As you can see, the NASA image has our Earth and Moon gravity fields as distinct, separate, and terminating entities. The Newtonian gravity science extension by multiplication of Earth and Moon masses is nowhere to be seen, and never ever will be. We will now cross to a country that is also very keen on moonshots for further diagrams and comment. Figuratively, I need to snorkel before Captain James Cook drops anchor here for a Venus transit. If we were to see James in this day and age, we could be telling him it looks like the impetus for the Venus gravity field to turn backwards comes from the Earth-Sun tidal axis passing through the Venus gravity field during an alignment of the three bodies.